Netflix, the video rental company that sends out DVDs in these little red envelopes, recently announced a $6 a month price hike, and it caught many of its 25 million subscribers off guard, and a lot of them are not happy about it. Now, some competitors are moving in to take advantage of this situation. DVD and streaming video giant Netflix is at the center of a customer complaint firestorm. 2 weeks ago, Netflix announced it was separating its DVD and streaming video subscriptions, resulting in a whopping 60% hike starting in September for existing customers. Thousands of customers vented their anger with "Dear Netflix" tweets. There were over 80,000 comments on Facebook alone, including this message from an angry follower: "Netflix stock down today. Laugh out loud. Poetic justice for a greedy company that turned its back on a loyal customer base." After Netflix announced depressed third-quarter projected earnings on Tuesday, Walmart struck back. To get a bigger share of the market, Walmart announced it's offering many movies the same day they come out on DVD. Walmart already offers 20,000 streaming movies through Vudu.com, which can be viewed on over 300 internet-connected devices. And joining us now to take a look at Netflix and some possible alternatives is Jason Cochran, contributing editor at DealNews.com. Jason, good to see you here this morning.
Good to see you.
So this has people up in arms, a 60% price increase, and you do it a little surreptitiously like that. Not good for the customers. But what can people expect when these changes do take effect?
Well, it's sort of like the airlines. They've ripped a page from the airline playbook and they've unbundled their services. So there used to be you paid $10, you could have streaming movies unlimited, and you could also be sent DVDs. Yeah. Now if you want them, you have to pay for them separately. So essentially, if you want to keep the old services that you had, you have to pay $16 a month rather than $10. Does not make people very happy.
Yeah, this is probably an easy question, but the reason behind this is just because they weren't doing very well?
Well, you know, we're moving towards streaming movies in general. It costs a lot of money to send things out. You have to have the warehouse, you have to pay for postage. And since we're moving towards streaming, a lot of these companies need to have better libraries available. To do that, it takes money because you have to negotiate with the studios. So I think Netflix is trying to position itself to where it is more of a streaming company in the future.
Okay, you talk about the streaming video, and it's much more convenient, but there is still a huge percentage of people out there that like to get the tangible DVD and have that in their hands. Are there some cheaper alternatives for people now? There
are. You know, I'm one of them. I like to have the extras and the cut scenes and the commentaries, and one of the ones that you can still get it from is Blockbuster, believe it or not. The video store that's slowly dying is moving into sending people DVDs, and if you want to, you can trade them out at the video store, and that's called Blockbuster Total Access, and that costs about $12 a month. It's more than Netflix is, but you can get movies right away as soon as the DVDs are released. Yeah. Netflix has a waiting period of almost a month. There's also one called Green Cine, which is essentially like art house classic movies, because Netflix and Blockbuster tend to be a little bit more mainstream, a lot more Hollywood, and the more popular movies. So if you want something more obscure, you might look at Green Cine. That's about $10 a month.
Yeah, and these kiosks, you see those pop up all over town. Good to go that route as well, or?
The kiosks are, I think, they have some downsides. There's often a line, one person at a time can use them. It eliminates the ability to really sit there and browse, which is one of the pleasures of the video store. But Redbox is a big player in that arena. That's about $1 a night. You see them in drugstores and grocery stores. Blockbuster, incidentally, it's also got its own Blockbuster Express, but mind you, it's operating in Chapter 11, so its future is not necessarily assured right now.
Yeah, I want to bring that up for the Blockbuster folks, but got to be careful there. Back to the streaming video. Other cheaper options for streaming video options that are out there?
That's a crowded field, and it's getting more and more busy now that people realize that Netflix has had a moment of weakness. The big announcement yesterday is that Walmart is going to be streaming Vudu, which is VUDU, on its website. Vudu's already available on Blu-ray players and smart TVs. You pay per view there. You don't have to have a membership fee, so as little as 99 cents up to a few dollars for a movie.
And then Amazon, they've also got a streaming video.
Amazon's got one too. If you pay about $80 a year to get its discounted shipping, you can get a smaller selection. I wouldn't rely upon it exclusively because it doesn't have as many movies available as some of these other players do.
All right, we've talked about pros, we've talked about some cons here. If you had to pick one, what would the one be?
I think you have to cobble together because not all of them have all the movies. So you perhaps get 2 or 3 pay-per-view. You can go with Apple TV has some stuff, Best Buy, Cinema Now. You just pay-per-view rather than paying for a subscription you may not actually use as much as you thought you would.
All right, Jason, good to see you.
Sure.
Thanks again.